सलाम मेरे अजीज पंखों।
I can't stay here. I'm leaving, they said before turning around, and both of them stood to leave with him. They had just reached to the entrance when all of a sudden, darkness, the surrounding followed by the wild scream. What the hell? Did they have any system of electricity? They stood still on his place when he listened to Jimin in frustration. He couldn't make where he was standing, but before he could turn on the flashlight, someone bumped into him, making the phone fall from his hand. He grumbled, trying to see around, but the flashlight, he could not interfere anything. They bent down to pick his phone. He was still struggling when it rang. Cause, and to see it, he stood, pick it up, and Jeff was calling. Hello? Hello, Theon. Where did you go? I'm near the entrance. We are also standing there. Just come to the parking area then. They nodded his head and cut the call. Damn it. It just should not have come. Theon, are you there? They looked around, analyzing the surrounding. It was dark everywhere, just a street light and a shadow on the road ahead of him. Jimin, I think I turned left instead of going right. I murmured, taking a deep breath. The road was almost empty. However, he could hear the sound of students yelling. What do you mean? Didn't you see the parking area side? No. Oh, Theon, stay there, we are coming. They nodded and shaded his head for him to follow. He peeked at the bridge and his feet, the herds, the sign, and gazed at the wall on the side of the street, strolling a little forward when his eyes fell on something on the wall, along with some paintings. But before he could move further, he felt a presence behind him. He waved his head behind but discovered no one. They were still studying the surrounding when all of a sudden he saw the venue lighting again. The electricity was back, but since he had walked a bit far, it didn't have any effect on the street. He was still standing. A smile, the lips spared the situation, and a muffled sound of one of his favorite songs coming to his ear. Someone had played in the hall maybe. They sang along the lyrics, glaring at the clear sky above him. Even in the dark, there was the light on the star. At the light twinkle with the music play, he gasped, fixed at the situation moon shining above they saw, when he felt his senses calm down. A shriek, except the mouth when someone pulled him against the near wall, caused the body to, but instead of falling, the feeling of hardness of the wall, the head landed on someone extremely gentle and soft. He shut, closing his eyes in panic. Everything happened so quickly that he didn't even realize when his hand went to his mouth, covering it. Open your eyes. They felt his breath stop when the stiff voice reached his ear. His leg wobbled as he surprised himself again. Just when he felt his fear, the strong scent of his caused his eyes to flinch open, and a soft pimple left his lips. When his eyes met with the ones, this was the first notion that hit Theon's brain. While he tried to keep his racing heart under the check, the lyrics of the song is in the LA. But dreams have never felt so natural. The innocent eyes wandering off his face, the dim light making his features dark more than usual. They noticed the distance between them and gulped a step forward, and his shoes would touch his feet. The blink tried to clear the muck state of his sense, but nearly choked as his deep chuckle entered his ear. They felt his breath hacked as he discovered the smile on his face. Beautiful, they peeked around as he heard him in the subtitle voice, his heart thumping inside his chest. His eyes widened when he saw him that it was the hand behind his head, the other positioned on the wall beside They. He shut his eyes once again, still waiting for the to fade. A moment passed, then another, but he didn't feel the act nor did he say anything else, but he could feel his intense state on the single figure. Mr. Kim, huh? The mumbled, opening his eyes on the and the exact moment he saw him moving back, removing his hand from behind his head, carefully placing it against the wall. They felt the warmth vanish around him, the strong, spicy scent fading. They saw him muttering something under his breath and then brushed the tip of his nose. Turning to the opposite side, he noticed he hovered gentle above his. I'm going to kill him. They looked up at him when he started. His face turned dismal, like usual. Torn Harding. They kept staring at him in confusion. His heart was beating like hell. They could not his word. What is real? Turned down that, probably. Theung released a breath when he spoke again, in his profound tone, his mind still blank and eyes fixed on the features. Are you listening? I said and turned down probably. They shivered, closing his eyes as the pinch of his voice increased. I swear, he's going to regret his presence. He snarled, a bit softer this time, taking a glimpse of the lashes dropped down his cheeks. You only belong to John. His statement, Theung planned to proceed. If he heard wrong, but less than he knew, his life was not going to remain the same anymore. Not when he belonged to him. You only belong to John. Jungkook stared into the hypnotizing hazel eyes, with slightly not being able to piece in the intense gaze. He felt like banging his fist into the nearest wall as soon as the of Inwu eyes ranging over his crossed his mind. How dare he? How dare he thought about that? Jungkook shut down his eyes, and how he wished he could have punched Inwu right then and there, but acting rationally, yet simple, unplugged the connecting power of the venue. He just could not bear the fact of someone was looking at them the way other only he was going to have the right. He sighed and opening his eyes and felt his anger faded away in a mere moment, and the memorizing orbs come in his view. Jungkook huffed and ruffled his hair when Theung sealed his wandering eyes in shock. It took a moment to study Tae once again. He could not get enough of his finger slightly trembled as he intentioned to hold his breath and his hand still covering his mouth. Jungkook's eyes at his lashes dropping over his rosy cheek. His heart did a flip and his lips to cover slightly, just a bit. I will not eat you, he said, taking a notice of his reaction, his eyes opening slightly, then closed again. Theung winced when the silence of his surrounding broken by the ringing of the phone. Tae at the phone fall beside him, but he dropped his hand while he pushed against the wall. They glanced at him through his lashes, a bit lower his lips, and focused on Tae. What happened to him? Was he in his right mind? Theung. Before he could fluster himself, Jimin's faint voice entered the ear, causing him to shout as he looked around to see them. They had finally uncovered his stained lips. They, where are you? The silent look at Jungkook, who was stood at the same spot, as if he didn't hear anything. His burning star on Tae's sparkling face